Children, today we will continue with the second chapter, Location and Extent. First, let us have a recap of what we learned in the last video. We learned about different things about India and Brazil, like the spices of our country and the popular samba dance of Brazil. We also learned about the extent of our country, that is the longitudinal and the latitudinal extent, and the various neighboring and water bodies of our country, and that Tropic of Cancer passes through the middle of our country. So children, in the last video, we learned about India and its importance and various latitudinal extent. So here we will study about Brazil. Brazil is named as the Federative Republic of Brazil. The capital of Brazil is Brasilia. As India has New Delhi as its capital, Brazil has its capital as Brasilia. Brazil has got its name from a local wooden tree called as pau Brazil. It is also called as pau Brasilia tree. So children, now let us see where Brazil is actually located in the world map. So if you look at the map, you can see that some parts of Brazil lies in the northern hemisphere. Okay, in the northern hemisphere, some parts lie towards the northern hemisphere, while most part lies in the southern hemisphere. Also, it lies in the western hemisphere. So it lies in the three hemispheres, that is, little part towards the north, more part towards the south, and towards the western hemisphere. As India lies towards the eastern hemisphere, so Brazil lies towards the western hemisphere. In the northern part of the South American continent. So what continent does it lie on? It lies on the northern part of which continent? Of South American continent. As India lies on the Asian continent, so Brazil lies on the South American continent. So as India lies in the south of Asian continent, similarly Brazil lies in the north of the South American continent. So now let us look into the map and find the extent of mainland Brazil. By observing the map, we get to know that Brazil extends from 5 degree 15 minutes north. So now we are looking at the latitudes. So if you look towards your left hand side, you can see 5 degree 15 minutes north to 33 degree 45 minutes south latitudes. So that is a number that you are seeing towards your left hand side. That is the latitudes, the extent of latitudes. Now let us see the longitudinal extent. So it lies from 34 degree 45 minutes west. So if you see towards your right hand side, you can see 34 degree 45 minutes west to 73 degree 48 minutes west of longitudes. So we saw from where to where it lies on the longitudes as well as the latitudes. Brazil has 26 states and 1 federal district. So now let us see some of the neighboring countries and water bodies from Brazil. So if you see towards the north, we have Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana, and the North Atlantic Ocean. So this North Atlantic Ocean is the water body which lies towards the north. So towards the south, as we go down towards the south, we have a country called Uruguay. So Uruguay is a neighboring country towards the south, and also South Atlantic Ocean, that is a water body. As we go towards the east, we only have the South Atlantic Ocean. So towards the east, there is no country, no neighboring country. So we have only the water body. So towards the west, as we move towards the west, we have countries like Peru, Bolivia, Paraguay, Colombia, and Argentina. So these are the countries that lie towards the west. Children, Tropic of Capricorn passes through the southern part. So now we are talking about the important latitudes that pass in the country. Okay, the first one is Tropic of Capricorn that passes through the southern part of the country down, and equator also passes. So it passes through the northern part of Brazil. So there are two important latitudes that pass throughout the country, that is Tropic of Capricorn and equator. Now children, let us understand the historical background of India. So you have already learnt about India's freedom struggle in your history lessons. Let us just revise it again. India was under British rule for almost 1.5 century. We got our freedom in the year 1947. Despite facing several problems like the three wars, like the Indo-Pakistan War and Indo-China War, then we had to face famine situations in various parts of the world, part of India. But still, India today is a major developing country in the world. It is also considered to be a global market. It is considered to be the global market. Why? Due to various economic reforms that Indian economy grew. So it grew because the government took various economic reforms. So children, the proportion of young population, that is young population, small, in India is high. Thus, India is looked upon as young country, as this forms a major part of a working population. We celebrate Independence Day on the 15th of August. India has federal parliamentary republic type of government. So children, now let us move on to the historical background of Brazil. So Brazil was under the Portuguese rule for more than 3 centuries. It gained its independence in 1822. Then again, it was under a populist military government from 1930 to 1985. It has overcome global financial difficulties in the late 20th century. Brazil today is seen as the contributor of economic growth of the world and an important market in the future. Brazil celebrates its Independence Day on the 7th of September. Brazil now has a federal presidential republic type of government. So children, here we complete with the second chapter. I would again ask you to learn the states and capitals of both the countries as well as the neighboring countries and water bodies of both the countries. Before concluding, let's have some revision of what we learned today. When did Brazil gain its independence? Brazil gained its independence on 7th September 1822. What is the latitudinal extent of Brazil? The latitudinal extent of Brazil is 5 degree 15 minutes north to 33 degree 45 minutes south. Which country is the second largest populated country in the world? So you know it, children. It is India. Who established the early settlements in Brazil? The Portuguese settlers established the early settlements in Brazil. Okay, children, with this we complete with our today's session. I hope you understood the chapter. I'll meet you again in the next video. Take care.